It's your girl Jasmine, aka Jasmine J, and I'm back with another video. Welcome back. I know y'all see by the title that this is not a regular video. I'm trying something new for y'all. So I know I have a lot of subscribers who also have their own channels. So I decided to take the initiative to kind of give you something new. I'm gonna be teaching you how to make and how to improve your YouTube thumbnails in this video. I'm really giving y'all like the secret tips and tricks. So I think I'm going to start doing this and make this like a little series on my channel because I think it can be very informational, and I think it could also like help my, my subscribers. One thing about me, when I know something, I love to share it, and I'm a talker, as y'all probably know. I'm just going to be bringing this all to you. There's a lot of people who have actually come to me and who are actually new on YouTube or starting YouTube. And when I was starting YouTube, I actually had somebody who was already doing YouTube, so it kind of helped me to have that informational, person to kind of help me with my thumbnails and everything. So therefore, watch this video full out. The tips and tricks that I'm using are not only going to be used for Final Cut Pro. I do use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos and to make my thumbnails. However, if you're using iMovie or any other type of editing software, you can also still use these tips or tricks. I definitely used them before I was using Final Cut Pro. Also, you guys, if you have any other kind of informational videos about YouTube that you guys would like to see, or you guys would like to kind of know from me, then I can definitely give you that. Just drop them down in the comment section down below and I'll definitely get back to you. Before we get into this video, don't forget to smash the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my post notifications so you don't miss a video, because you don't want to miss this. And let's get into the video. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a thumbnail for this video actually. So the first thing I did was take a picture, an actual photo of myself doing the pose that I want to have in the thumbnail. And right now I'm just taking it down to 4 seconds. As you can see, that is kind of the standard that I use. And then I'm moving the picture to where I want it to be. Like I'm cropping it to the position I want it to be. So after I do that, I am taking a screenshot of this picture, and you're going to see why I'm actually doing this. I'm going to remove background. Now this is a feature that I just started recently using when I want to make a glow on the back of myself. So as you can see with remove background, it's supposed to remove the background, but it actually took my computer out of it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and restore that. And that's going to take a little while, so I will just go ahead and do this, and then you guys will see the afterwards effect. With this, you have to be very careful. You can change the brush size and everything. But yeah, so after I do that, I download it, and it goes into my downloads folder on my Safari, and then I just drag it down to Final Cut Pro. So I'm going to take that removed background, and I'm going to put it on top of my actual photo. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy that one and paste another one of the exact same one on top of that. So for this one, this is the mask that I was telling you about. I'm going to actually turn the exposure all the way up. So you can see it kind of made like an outline behind me. And so next I'm going to go ahead and turn the saturation up for this one. This is really important to do in your videos and also in your thumbnails. The saturation makes the color more vivid. It makes it pop more. So with your saturation, you can turn it up more on your thumbnails than in the videos. Be careful with that because sometimes it can make you look a little bit orange, but doing this will definitely help your videos to look less dull. I'm also turning up the exposure here just a little bit because I was kind of dim. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blur and put it on the middle segment. So I'm taking this Gaussian blur right here and I'm going to drag it over to my middle section. And that's going to cause it to kind of have like this glowy effect in the background. And that's kind of what I wanted. So with this, you can also do a draw mask where you actually outline the entire, you know, myself and the computer. That takes a little bit longer, so I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do that as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go in with these rays. I'm going to drag it and put it on top of the bottom segment. And this is going to add just a little background for me. And as you can see, this is really dark and I don't want it to be that dark. So I'm going to cut this and then I'm going to go ahead and change some things around. That is what it would look like if I left everything how it was. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the colors. I think I want it to be kind of a white gray color. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. And I'm also going to change the opacity. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down because it's at 100. So the opacity is actually causing it to be darker. So if it's on 100% opacity, that means that it's shown all the way. So I'm going to turn it down and kind of move it down to my liking. You can also use any of those backgrounds that you would like, but I just prefer to use the rays. So that's going to give me that opacity. I kind of like that one. Now I'm going to go in and change the colorway. I usually kind of, since this is more of a informational video and less of a video that I want the thumbnail to pop a whole lot, I'm going to just go in with kind of a neutral tone of the rays. In some of my thumbnails, my other videos, you can see that I did actually have a color on the rays, and you can do that if that's what you wanted to do, but I just didn't want to do that for this one. I already have on a red shirt and everything, so I just thought that this would be best this way. So as you can see now, I have the rays behind me with the opacity and the color that I want. So that is that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put a title in here. You can choose any of these titles that you would like. I am going to go ahead and choose custom, because that's the one that I use the most. That's the one that's kind of easiest to use for me. You can do absolutely anything that you want with this. So I have my title right here. I put it right on top because as you can see, these layers are on top of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and type in what I want the title to say. And there is a little circle on top of the title that helps me to move it to where I want it to be. And then what I'm able to also do is to change the color, the size, all of that of my title. So what I'm going to go in do is go in and change the font of my title. So you can choose any of these fonts that you want, but also you could download more fonts onto your computer. So the font that I chose is Big Burbank Condensed. And if you are a gamer, you can tell that this is the font from Fortnite. A lot of YouTubers actually use this font, and here I'm just making it bigger. So here's where I got my font from. I got it from dafont.com, and on here they have all types of different fonts that you can choose from. You can just pick and choose whichever kind you want, different styles, anything that you're really looking for. So you can just kind of go through this, and then you would download it onto your computer and it would actually be in those fonts. So here I'm just kind of changing around the title and how I actually want it to be and deciding on that. So as you see now, I am changing the color of my words. I think I'm going to go with red. So the colors that really stand out in a YouTube thumbnail are red, yellows, and oranges. So I'm just going to kind of go in with those type of bright colors. As you can see, I already have red on, so I kind of match the words with my red. And right now I'm just adding an outline of white or black. It's more outlined now that I took the width up, and I'm going to go ahead and go with white because that's the one that just looks better to me. So as you can see now, I have that white outline on my thumbnail around the words. I like to put outlines because it kind of makes it pop more to me around the words, around myself, so all of that. Right now, so some other things that you can do is add a drop shadow. This creates kind of, you know, the effect that the words are like coming out, or like kind of the shadow behind the words. So you can change the distance and all of that. And as you can see now, I do have the little drop shadow in the back. You can add some blur to it, or you can keep the blur off. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and add something else, another text to my thumbnail. So I'm going to make this a question mark. And as you can see, it's pretty small. So I'm going to go ahead and move it over to the computer. Since we are doing a thumbnail, I am creating this thumbnail for this thumbnail video. We're going to put a question mark right here just to, you know, kind of give an illusion. Oh, what is the thumbnail going to be? So that's what we're going to put right here. I'm going to try to make it as big as I can. And I'm going to change the font to Big Burbank Condensed. You can use whatever font you want to, whether you have downloaded a font or not. You can go ahead and use whichever font that you like. And I am adding a glow here, and I am going to go ahead with the white glow to kind of give it that glowy look. So as you can see now, this is what I have so far with my thumbnail. I'm going to copy that question mark and put another one on top. I'm going to put a Gaussian blur on the one in the back. As you can see, that made it kind of glow some more. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add an emoji. So I'm just going to look up an emoji, any emoji that you want on Google. And you want to make sure you look up emoji PNG. And most of those still won't be a PNG, so you're going to have to go to remove background and try to remove the background of that one. And then you'll just download it and do the same thing that I did with the remove background of my own picture. So I actually do have the emoji that I want to use already in a folder, and I recommend doing this with the emojis that you will use or any pictures that you will use, and having them in a folder along with music and anything else that you will use for your videos. So I'm going to go ahead and take this emoji and I'm going to drag it up, and I'm going to place it where I want to place it on my thumbnail. I recommend putting emojis behind you, so not behind the background, because it'll be behind the rays. So I will put it right on top of the rays and move it behind you. As you can see in this one, I put it behind my head. I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm also going to tilt it a little bit so that you can see, you know, kind of the gist of the emoji. You're not just seeing like a half of it. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and copy that one, and I'm going to put another one on top, and I'm going to drag that down to where it's on top of that other one. I'm actually going to put a Gaussian blur on the one on the bottom. I'm going to turn the exposure up so that I can also have that look. With this one, you have to turn the saturation down first, however, because if I just turn the exposure up, it will be kind of a yellowy color because it takes on the color of the actual emoji. So I put a Gaussian blur on top of the top one too, just because I don't want the emoji to be just kind of the main thing. So I just kind of turned the Gaussian blur down some so you can still see the emoji, but it's still kind of blurred in the background. So next we're going to add an arrow. This is also coming from my YouTube folder that I have. There's a lot of different arrows that you could use. I'm using this red one right here. So I'm going to drag that and put that at the top. And I'm going to move it to where I want it to be. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking another arrow and I'm putting it on top of this arrow. And the one that I have on the bottom, I'm going to put a Gaussian blur on it. And then I'm also going to go and turn the amount. I turned it down, and then the exposure, I turned it all the way up, and saturation all the way down, so I could have that white outline on the back of the arrow. And then I turned the amount of the Gaussian blur all the way back up so I could have more of that effect on that. So what I'm doing now is turning up the saturation on the emoji, on the arrows and on all of my words just to make sure the saturation is all the way up, because we do want that to pop some more. So I suggest that you go ahead and do that. So we have the thumbnail. So like I said, you guys, that is how I create my YouTube thumbnails and some tips and tricks to make your YouTube thumbnails better. If you guys have any other videos that you would like to see on me and for me on anything with YouTube, because I've been doing this for a little while now, or anything that you would like to see, go ahead and drop it down in the comment section down below and I'll definitely get back to that. That is the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video. Also, go ahead and share this video. If you found it informational, share this video with whoever may need it, whether you're on YouTube or any type of platform where you have to create thumbnails or be creative like this. Go ahead and share that so that everybody can get some insight. And I'll see you guys in the next video.